The Espn Fc under Dan Thomas. So much going on today. Later on in the show, Alien will be here to reflect on Real Madrid's 1-0 win in La Liga. Plus, we'll have Ian and Don talking about a good night for the Manchester clubs in the Carabao Cup. We'll start, though, in Germany, because it's the German Super Cup today. Bayern Munich taking on Borussia Dortmund. Jan Fjorthoff and Jurgen Klinsmann with us to discuss Bayern's 3-2 win. Hey, Jurgen, this is a fun game to watch.
Oh, it was a very entertaining game to watch. I mean, it's a one-off, obviously, and all you wish for is a few goals, and it's to them.
Jan, what was interesting after that defeat against Augsburg, we were critical of Borussia Dortmund. You felt when they went 2-0 down in this tie that their heads would drop, but they...
At 2-2, and they have the 3-2 on the feet from Holland. Neuer, brilliant.
Chance here to win a bit of silverware, to defeat your closest rivals, yet you take off Haaland.
Yeah, I was surprised myself. I mean, this is the field from the Dortmund end that could really give some problems to Bayern Munich, and it was Haaland. So it didn't work out at the end of the day. They never really created chances anymore after that substitution, and here goes a lost trophy.
Jan, you were watching it with Haaland's dad, weren't you? He must have taken it well when his son was taken off.
Let's put it this way, it was successful because I think that I'm doing really any secret. We should play 60 minutes, so we got 66. And I think that it just shows you the mentality. It's no coincidence that goal from Kimmich. You can say it's a coincidence that he hits his foot and everything, but that is the will. And these guys have now in 3 months won 5 trophies. And Fab is thinking of the game. They lost that, but all praise to Bayern. This win-to-win trophies, and Jurgen was a part of that. He said it himself. He left Tottenham to win trophies with Bayern. Just tells you the story.
Is Jan overreacting, Jurgen?
No, I think Jan is totally right, because it's about winning things. It's about growing as an organization, and have this drive, this hunger to get those trophies. And for Dortmund, it was really an important game. I mean, you can always say it's in the beginning of the season and you don't have a rhythm yet, and you need to get some minutes for players that are a little bit behind. But that's not the moment for it. In a cup final, you have to go for it. And when he did that substitution, he brought some players on that needed more minutes. You can do that in the next upcoming games. Over the stretch of a season, when you play then 34 Bundesliga matches, that's the time when you can bring players in and give them some minutes. But in a one-off cup final, it's not the moment, and it's unfortunate, because I'm sure that thousands of Dortmund fans were hungry for a trophy, and they're always hungry, obviously, for a win against the big rival Bayern Munich. So it's a pity for them.
Not obviously just on the back of today's result, but the loss at the weekend. Favre coming out afterwards, and he said he didn't see anything wrong with his team's performance. Is Favre okay in this position, Jan? Can he handle it?
Well, I think he can handle it, but I think that you can be a bit found out. I think what we saw against Augsburg, and you saw some of the young kids, your kid right now, our kid Haaland, they were the one who were fighting, batting, and these are young kids. And Augsburg just showed what a mental, strong, physical team they were in that game. And if Dortmund gets found out, I mean, that is a bad...
Borussia Dortmund against Augsburg, where pretty much they were bullied out of the game.
Well, for a coach, it's always a very difficult task, obviously, to grow a team over a certain time period in making it a contender, to win trophies. And if you have such talented young players like Dortmund has coming through the ranks, especially obviously from a US side, we're watching Giovanni Reina so closely. You wish that there's a group growing now, probably already with a kind of a leader with Haaland, that is, for his age, unbelievably mature. Then these type of youngsters, they need to start believing into winning trophies, and that's why I think it was a very crucial moment today, because these kind of mental games that you face off with your biggest rival Bayern Munich, who obviously now the last couple of months did incredible things, those mean a lot. Now going back to Dortmund now as a losing team, it's not good for the growth of the youngsters, because they these youngsters, they need to have the feeling that, okay, they can do it, but sooner or later you got to do it. So it's a very, very big missed opportunity today, and for Favre as well. I mean, also as a coach, you are measured over time with trophies. So yeah, it's sad to see that they didn't take that chance today.
Thanks, Jürgen. Thanks, Jan. As I mentioned, it will be Bayern Munich against Hertha Berlin on Sunday this weekend in the third round of matches of the Bundesliga. Borussia Dortmund, meanwhile, national on Saturday, playing host to Freiburg. 4 teams looking at a place then in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. I tell you what, Newcastle were down for a long time against Newport County, but a late goal saw them go to penalties. Bruce's team in the end going through. Meanwhile, Calvert-Lewin get another hat-trick, this time against West Ham, 4-1 victory for Everton. Both Manchester clubs going through to the next round with 3-1 victories over Brighton and Burnley, respectively. Don and Ian with us then to talk about what we saw take place today in England. Ian, should we start? Let's start with Manchester United, shall we? Avoiding, I suppose, the banana skin of what has been an impressive Brighton side so far.
Yeah, Brighton have been impressive, and they weren't bad again tonight, of course. Both teams made plenty of changes, but United, I think, really do want to win this competition. It's been a while now since they won a trophy, and there is pressure on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to put some silverware on the table, but I think they're getting more and more up to speed. He said it again before the game tonight, that they're a few weeks behind everyone. I'd have to ask the question, why are they a few weeks behind? They knew when their season was going to start. They were allowed to start a bit after everybody else. And they clearly were behind when they lost that home game to Crystal Palace at the beginning. But they seem to be getting up to speed now. Doesn't look like the Jadon Sancho deal is going to happen for them. My question would be, why were they chasing him? They've got plenty of forwards. What they really needed to do was sign a key defender. Why didn't they go and get Ruben Diaz from Benfica like Manchester City have?
Don, you were saying before maybe the scoreline flattered them slightly.
I think so. It wasn't a great 45 minutes, although Brighton played quite well without really penetrating Man United. They kept the ball, I thought, Brighton, and they were the better side until United took the lead. It was a good goal from Scott McTominay, but I thought Juan Mata was probably the best player on the pitch. And then Brighton came again second half. I think the first 15-20 minutes of the second half, it looked like Brighton were going to get back into it. But then in the end, once United got the second one, they were comfortable and there was no way back. And then Pogba got the third of the deflected free kick. So in the end, I think it was a very professional performance.
Meanwhile, City bouncing back after that defeat against Leicester. What was your big takeaway from this game, Ian?
Manchester City love this competition. They keep on winning it. Serial winners. They put out a pretty strong team again tonight. Raheem Sterling was in it. He got 2 goals. Kevin De Bruyne was big as well, and they coasted through against Burnley, maybe predictably.
Ferran Torres, I thought, was good today, Don.
Yeah, he's a good player. Got his goal and an assist. He was sharp. He's going to be one I think the Man City fans are going to love watching playing because he's very direct. He's got a trick on him. He takes players on for fun. And I think they've missed that. Once Leroy Sané picked his injury up on the left-hand side and he was battling back from his ACL injury, they missed that sort of type of player on that side. So he's going to slot in there, I would imagine, and he'll be a fan's favourite. He played really well tonight. As Ian said, Raheem Sterling got a brace as well, and he looked on fire. He looked sharp.
Meanwhile, Ian, Everton loving life at the moment. 4-1 victory over West Ham. Everything going their way.
Everything's going their way. Dominic Calvert-Lewin will probably, I would think, unless it's a shock, be in the England squad when it's named tomorrow by Gareth Southgate. That's 2 hat-tricks at Goodison Park already. It's Everton's best start since 1938.
Wow.
They look like a different side with the signings this season, but the only downside for them tonight was Richarlison went off injured. Allen, who's been a great signing as the defensive midfield man, he went off injured as well. So did John Joe Kenny. So there was a downside, but they're picking strong teams as well in this competition, and I think Carlo Ancelotti wants to win it.
No, Don. I'm not going to do a joke about Ian in 1938. Come on, we're better than that.
It's a grand old team to play for all of a sudden, Dan.
So much better than when you were captain.
Easy. Listen, he signed some top players, as Ian rightly said, and I think the money that Farhad Bashiri and Bill Kenwright have spent over the last 2 or 3 years, they've brought in some good players, but didn't really think Was any thought process behind it? Was signing people like guilty citizen for just shy of £50 million and expect him to take Everton to top six? It wasn't going to happen. Then you see what Carlo's done since he's come in, and he's had a real structure about his signings. You know, I think the one that's probably gone under the radar, even though he's been there for a little while, is Andre Gomez. All of a sudden now, Andre Gomez is playing with the likes of James, he's got Decore and Richarlison and Alan sitting in there. His form has been sensational since the start of the season, but people like James, the Galacticos, are getting all the plaudits. And as you said, I think it's 6 from 6 in all competitions so far, so Everton are absolutely flying.
Meanwhile, of course, they joined Spurs, who booked a place in the quarterfinals with that penalty shootout victory over Chelsea yesterday. The big talking point, aside from Eric Dyer, was the spat that we saw on the touchline between Jose Mourinho and Frank Lampard. This is what Jose had to say about it after the game.
The only thing that I was telling him was that was an opinion, just an opinion of an old coach to a young, talented coach, which was, when the players need us is when they are losing. When they are winning, we don't need to be the protagonists of the touchline. We need to be there when they are losing. And the last match, when they were losing 3-0, I felt sorry for him because he was really, really sad and quiet in his chair. So it was just, in terms of football, I have nothing to teach him. He knows football up and down. He's a fantastic coach. It was just an opinion. Stay on the touchline when your team is losing, and stay calm when your team is winning.
Jose Mourinho, the king of humility, trying to pass it on to others, Ian.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's funny. It was a good sideshow last night. And Frank Lampard, despite his very pleasant exterior and how articulate he is, I think he's got quite a steely side. Remember, he had the argument with Jurgen Klopp and the Liverpool bench, and there weren't too many niceties there between the manager and his old player, and I don't think he appreciated getting lectures from Jose Mourinho there about that. And his response to what you just heard from Jose Mourinho was to say, well, you're doing most of your talking to the referee, not your players, so can you button it, please? It'll be interesting the next time that they're out together there by the dugouts.
Has he got any sort of point there, Don, in the sense that when you're losing 3-0, you're quiet on the bench, it's very easy to be out there when you're winning?
No, Jose Dan knows exactly what he was doing and exactly what he was saying. I was at Tottenham Stadium last night covering the game, and honestly, Jose Mourinho had his hands in his pockets for the first 45 minutes, and he never said a word to his players as Chelsea absolutely battered them. Credit to Jose for tweaking the system in the second half, but I disagree with what he's saying. They had a spat, all the way through the game. When they've played each other, the 3 times that they've played, Frank's came out on top every single time. So Jose, before the game, was quite interested. He said, look, we can't have a battle. We've got too many games. I'm not really interested in this competition. It's all about the Europa League because that's where the finances are. And then, honestly, when Spurs won on penalties, I don't know if you've seen the clip online of him and his coach dancing down the tunnel and skipping into the dressing room. It's hilarious.
It's a really good clip, actually. It's fantastic.
It is, isn't it?
That's it. Thank you very much, gentlemen. More from Ian and Donna over on Extra Time. You can check that out over on our YouTube channel.